drugs? Are there new drugs coming? And the answer is...
Wait, but backstage, what did I just do to you? What did I just do? Right?
And the answer is yes. The answer is because we have drugs now, there's a second generation of drugs, many of them given orally, that are going to be tested.
The majority of us who suffer from this illness are sticking needles in ourselves once a week, once a day, once a month, but we're sticking needles every day. Me, and I happen to be on a little bit of a different regimen than a lot of other people, I take 3 shots a day. I'm sticking a needle in myself 3 times a day, every day of the week, every day of my life. Okay, now, I'm glad that we got doctors like you guys working on this, so I'm telling you. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, Montel. This is Christy from Hampton, Virginia. I started Gallup for a Cure, and we raised $8,000 for your MS Foundation. Everything we donated went to MS research. Montel, with you giving 100% to MS research, there is no doubt in my mind that they are going to find a cure for MS one day.
We'll keep wondering. And, you know, Dr. Weiner, I mean, that's the pie in the sky. Everybody's saying cure, 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 cure. But one of the things that, like, people who suffer from this illness have to understand, and I think we're going to put out the right information, even if tomorrow there was some miracle drug, we don't know if that's a cure for years, because of the regular cycle of this disease, I could go symptomless for 5 or 6 years and wouldn't know if there's a drug or not, right?
Well, the interesting thing, the word cure is it's kind of a crazy word. It's in our society. Right. It kind of means getting things out. But there's another C word, control. And if I see a woman or a man who's 25 years old or a younger person who's in their teens, and we can give them some medicine, and we can follow them, and we can control the disease.
Controlling the symptoms.
Symptoms and progression.
Progression.
And destruction of the nerve fibers. I predict that with the use of the injectables we're now, and I don't want to say the injectables are bad because that's been our move forward. It's just that we need to move to the next thing. We're going to have people that can have children. You can have children when you have MS. Have their children, raise their families, and 25 years later, when they're 50, they may not have been cured that it's no longer there, but they've been controlled and they can live their lives.
Live a normal life. And that's what we're all hoping. What do you see? Is there something exciting coming down the pike? You know, I travel all over the world, come see you, but as I travel the world, it seems like there's exciting stuff coming out of Europe, there's exciting stuff coming out of the Middle East, there's exciting stuff coming.
Yeah.
How long?
The exciting stuff is in progress. Mm-hmm. And here are some of the exciting things that are coming. There's some oral medicines coming. There's some medicine to help rebuild the nervous system. There's some medicine to protect the nerve fibers. There's some medicine to help conduct the nerve fibers better. And there's medicine that actually can go into the brain and do some work. Now, these are all in, we don't go to the same places when we travel, but sure. I go into these laboratories, and they're showing me these things. And the amount of excitement and energy that's going into MS research now, I've never seen in my entire life.
There you go. Well, great. Well, my next guest is one of those parents that you talk about who has triplets who, you know, in this era right now, it's tough being able to raise a child and being a mother and being blind or impaired and trying your best to do your job. Please welcome our guest, Deborah, to the show. Thank you so much. What happened? When did you find out? What was your first symptom?
Actually, I really didn't have symptoms. I can tell you specifically when I lost the use of my right leg.
When did that happen?
October 4th, 2004, at 5:17 p.m.
What, you got out of a chair?
My mother came over to visit my children, as all grandmas do, and she says, oh, I'll give Mackenzie a bath, because Mackenzie wasn't feeling too good. So I said, that's fine. So I walked in to go see what they were doing, and it's just like my right leg just shut down from here on down to my toes.
It got difficult for a while, even trying to take care of the kids.
Oh, God, yes.
When did you finally go and get a doctor to say, this is what it is, Deborah?
Well, for 3 days, I limped around the house, and finally my family convinced me to go to the hospital. And I did, and I was there for 4 days. They poked, they prodded, they MRI'd, nothing. I got out. I wasn't satisfied with that. Something had to be wrong. And then I found a neurologist, and initially she diagnosed it as transverse myelitis, which is very similar to MS, but it's a monophasic event, meaning one time you have it, and that's what you're left with. You don't have the reoccurring relapses or flare-ups. And I was fine for 6 months, and then bam, it hit me again. Then I start losing, you know, the left leg, and the arms got weak, and it's a chronic, debilitating disease because I've had it for 2 years now, and now it's like I'm having trouble swallowing, you know.
Talk about this for a second real quick, because I know a lot of other people out here, like myself, and a lot of us suffer. This is a device that recently...
I initially had this when I was in the hospital in 2004 because I acquired foot drop.
Foot drop means that we really, some of us can't control the nerves that keep your foot in this position. And so as we're walking, you know, a lot of times people look at people with MS and say that they look drunk. They look this. Why? Because sometimes we drag our feet. Sometimes if you get caught in a cramp in the middle of a step, you have to work that cramp out before you can take the next step. So our gaits look a little off. And for some of us, the control over the body of that foot, every time you take a step, the foot drags, so you can't get to the next spot. Devices like this were made to help out. Okay, I'm going to take a little break. When we come back, you can talk a little bit about this other device that you have, which is now really one of these things. It's one of those breakthroughs. Again, what the doctor was saying, Dr. Weiner was saying, for us, cure may not be right there, but ways to deal with each one of our symptoms are right around the corner in a lot of ways. I'm going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Before we go any further, Deborah, now we were talking about this device, which was the old school way to do it, which again, put your foot in an odd way. This is one of those kind of breakthroughs that I just wanted to talk about. Show them what you have on your leg.
This is called the Walk Aid.
And this Walk Aid is an electric device that's kind of similar to what people might know as a TENS machine or an electric stimulating machine. What it does is there's 2 electrodes on it that are pinpointed precisely for your leg over the muscles that are not functioning correctly. Bluetooth loaded. A computer program comes up with the idea of how to match your gait. And then you just strap this thing on to walk and you don't have to wear this anymore. That's over the top. That's amazing. How long have you been using it?
I got this June 14th, 2006, at 10:30 in the mornings when I took my first step with it. Because it was so awesome.
But wait, tell them about this, because there are 2 electrodes, but to make sure that you get the electrodes in the right spot, what did you do on your leg?
I had tattoos done.
so you can hit it right on the right spot?
Right on the right spot, yeah.
That's unbelievable. Well, you know what? Please welcome our next guest, Lisa, to the show. Welcome, Lisa. Thank you so much for being with us.